What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, your homie, Arrington Gavin, coming to you with another great. Look, this is bit odd, but I was just taking a sip out of my drink, and I see that there's something in there, and I'm literally right. Okay, I got it. I don't know what that was, but I got it. Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. I am your friend, your homie, Arrington Gavin, coming to you with another great episode. We coming to you weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms as well as FM radio. You can find us on our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as WDJYFM.com. As I mentioned too, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on the streaming platforms of YouTube and what else? Oh, and Rumble, and on Rumble. So subscribe to our channels, share with a friend, comment, give us a thumbs up. I truly appreciate that. Also follow us on our social media pages, Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Arrington Gavin Show. Multiple ways you can stay connected with us. You can, if you have any questions or would love for a conversation or a topic to be shared on the platform, please, you can text us at 757-955-0656. Again, that is 757-955-0656. Or you can DM us on our social media platforms. Multiple ways you can stay connected, my friends. We are a very grassroots, unbiased platform. We are growing each and every step of the way, thanks to you all, the listeners, the viewers out there. Couldn't do it without your support. Our subscribers are growing literally every day. Viewerships, listenerships, everything is growing. The largest platform of all. Okay, that was my, you already know who I'm trying to impersonate there. But no, seriously, we're doing really, really good, and I appreciate it. Before I move forward, I want to acknowledge some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Bernardo's Menswear. That's right, my good friend Mr. Bernardo Johnson keeps you swagged out from head to toe. Do you hear me? Swagged out from head to toe. Business casual, custom, you name it. He has everything you need to help enhance your style, your appearance. I say it all the time as a business owner, as a man who, I work for myself. I am my brand. I'm a walking brand. And if I don't look a certain part, especially when I go to different networking socials and just other functions, I always got to make sure my appearance, my style is sharp. Thanks to Mr. Bernardo Johnson, founders of Bernardo's Menswear, I have the confidence. I get a lot of compliments, and I'm telling you, it's an awesome brand. If you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, be sure to visit his store location in downtown Norfolk, located in MacArthur Mall on the first floor. Or you can shop online if you're not in the Hampton Roads area. You can shop online at www.bernardomenswear.com. Again, that's www.bernardomenswear.com. Or you can also follow, he's on Facebook, Bernardo's Menswear. More information for that, just to how you can get connected. Again, I want to thank Mr. Johnson for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. All right, my friends, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We're going to tap in a lot on today's show. So kick back again, relax, and join the convo. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, let's get it going with our fun fact of the day before we get going with our stories and trending conversations. Check this out. Did you know that there's a world record for the most world record titles? It's true. Says here it belongs to Brooklyn, New York resident Asharita Furman, who's held more than 700 Guinness World Records in his lifetime, ranging from the heaviest shoes walked. Those shoes were weighed at 323 pounds, to the most baseballs held in a baseball glove at 26. Now, here's the interesting thing, guys. Where the hell do you find out about these world records? Like, I feel as though it's like you could just make up a world record. Like, I bet you there's the most world record for the most bobby pins in hair, or the most I don't know, the most letter R's written on a piece of paper. Oh, that's a world record. Like, there's literally like a world record for every damn thing, and I'm just like, it just seems weird. And maybe I'm biased because I don't know. It seems like the world's heaviest shoes. When was that a world record? When was that a world record? Now, the most baseballs held in a baseball glove. Okay, that's interesting. Now, is this a regular? I'm assuming this is a regular baseball glove. There's not showing any details, but I'm assuming this is a regular average baseball glove, and you hold 26 baseballs. I'm gonna look that up a little later on. That's interesting. But yeah, that is your fun fact. So, Mr. Astrita Furman, he holds over 700 Guinness World Records. So that's there's a world record for having the most world record titles. Good for him, and I hope he's making a great, honest living off of all those world records. Because it would suck if that man is doing Uber or Grubhub. It will definitely suck if that's the life he's living. He'd be like, you know what? I had a career once. I once held the record for walking in the heaviest shoes, 320 pounds, 323. Let me get that correct. 323 pounds. How do you even live? Man, it's I'm gonna look this. Matter of fact, Netflix, y'all need to make a documentary about this man's life. Out of all the documentaries y'all been making lately, y'all need to make one on Mr. Furman. Ash is it Ashrita Furman. Yes, Ashrita Furman. You need to find him and make a documentary or docu series out of his life, because that is quite interesting. As I digress, my friends, from that, I would love to start it off with our first story of the day, which it kills me to talk about this, but hey, it's true. It's real life stuff. So I don't know if you all are familiar who, let me get my notes actually ready. Hailey Welch. Hailey Welch. I don't know if y'all are familiar with who she is, but she is the viral, well, she was a girl that went viral and is considered the hot Tuah girl. Hot Tuah. And it's basically, you spit, you hawkaloo, you hawk Tuah, right? So I bring her up because I was reading an article about her, her continued success. So after that video, she went viral. I'm talking just nonstop. She was on so many very popular podcast, radio shows, TV shows, you name it. Everybody and everybody and just, they were talking about her. They were like, "Have you heard about this? Have you?" And I'm like, "Who the hell are they talking about?" And it was just a dumb, one of those popular YouTube shows where college kids or guys, they go interviewing random people in the streets, stupid questions. I mean, it's people find humor in it, and it can get quite interesting because they just go unfiltered. They tell you anything out of the sun, and they're like, they asked her the question, and she, the hawk Tuah was a sexual gesture. It was a type of technique that she was saying ladies should use in the bedroom, and it went viral. And I'm talking, this girl was getting booked everywhere, meeting celebrities nonstop, and it's just like, in my head, I'm like, wow, there are a lot of people that have like worked so hard to get to a certain success level, and it's like all you have to do is like, it's a kick in the face, in my opinion. Anyways, I wanted to keep you up to speed because the last time I've heard of this girl, I saw her on there was a podcast hosted by Bill Maher called Club Random, and it was the most, in my opinion, the most boring episodes because she wasn't really engaged with, like, she's very happy, giggly person, but it's like, what do you talk about, Bill? Like, literally, what do you talk about? She went famous off of like 3 words, or excuse me, 2 words. And like, what do you talk about? What I respected about his interview, though, he kept on bringing up the, let's try and find, we want to still see your success continue, but we have to pull you away from just that viral moment, because it's nothing to be proud about, especially in the world of strong feminism. Like, it's nothing to honor her or give her an award for. Like, it's like, okay, let's find what's your talent, what's your, what are some of your best traits that you can be of, I don't know, like a lead by example kind of thing, right? You don't want to lead by example by that viral moment you had. So as you see up here, Hailey Welch eventually started a podcast. She was offered by, I believe, I'm forgetting the name, but a podcast network that's owned by the Paul brothers, Logan and Jake Paul, who each have their own podcast, doing very well, making a lot of money. And they reach out to her. She starts a podcast called Talk Tuah. Very clever. And literally, her podcast has become the 3rd most popular podcast on Spotify in the U.S. behind Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson. I really wish I can cuss right now, because what I want to say, it will probably get me canceled. Not canceled, but at least, I'm pretty sure it's not FCC worthy. But literally, what the heck? Literally, what the heck? Joe Rogan has had his podcast forever. He's, to me, one of the pioneers in the world of podcasting. Tucker, I'm not a fan of. So I won't, I obviously, I know he has an audience, and one thing I've realized is when it comes to podcasts, uh especially in the, I don't know, I feel like the the conservative movement really are some of the most, like, they really enjoy their podcasts, because again, you're telling me that everybody in the world loves Tucker Carlson for him to have the number 2 most popular podcast out there? No. There's a certain demographic that probably caters more to those podcasts. Rogan, same thing. Rogan's audience is a selected bunch. Now, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Rogan, but I know for sure that the core base of Rogan followers, we would definitely not agree politically. Okay. Same with the Tucker Carlson audience. Now, I don't really know too much about Hailey Welch. And now, this is an article reported by the Express Tribune, and it says here, obviously the famously known as the Hawk Tuah girl rapidly gained internet fame following a viral video. Widely recognized as the Hawk Tuah girl, quickly rose to the internet fame after a viral video, and now she's capitalizing on her time in the limelight. Now, her podcast Talk Tuah has recently become the 3rd most popular podcast on Spotify, ranking just behind the Joe Rogan Experience and Tucker Carlson Show, 2 shows known for their strong storytelling. I'm curious what her storytelling is. I think she's around like 21, 23 years old. It says here, Welch first garnered attention during the viral street interview for Tim and DTV, where she was asked, what's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time? And obviously, she gave her that answer, and the phrase, which I've already described what that phrase was, but just for those who are just now listening in, she said you gotta, get him, and that she did the phrase. All right. The phrase, which sounds like spitting on an old Western saloon. People found it amusing, unique, and very Southern, elements that made it very perfect viral sensation. Now, Welch's playful PG-13 twist on the bedroom tip, but it was her delivery and Southern charm that made it a blow up. The phrase turned into a meme overnight, being compared to viral moments like "Damn Daniel." If y'all don't remember that one, then look that one up. As the most viral trends, monetization followed swiftly. Tim DTV launched a merchandise line with phrases like, "If she don't hawk Tuah, I don't want to talk to her." Selling hats and t-shirts, Welch also teamed up with Jason Poteet, owner of Faith Head Threads, to sell official Hawk Tuah hats. Rolling Stone reported that more than 2,000 hats were sold within a few weeks, generating at least $65,000 in revenue. Welch has now transformed her viral fame into a full-fledged career. She has hired a management team and recently launched her own podcast that premiered earlier in the month. Again, I love seeing the underdog just find success and just find the money. I have no bad bone against that or against her. girl, get your money, get your success. You made that happen. No one can take that away from you. You made that success happen. I think the messaging sucks because it's like, okay, in order to be successful in life, what are we teaching youth? And I think that's where parents have a hard time helping motivate their kids to, pursue this field or pursue that field, or hey, do your homework, because a lot of times, they're glued into their phone, they're glued to social media. A lot of people want to be the one-hit wonders, the get-rich-quick schemers. It's not a lot of people are destined to pursue a long journey that will lead them to success. They want to have this moment. They want to have Hailey Welch's moment. It's a weird moment, but it's, hey, it's her 15-minute of fame now turned into long-standing success. I mean, it's there's a lot of people that saying it's not fair. There's gonna be the conversation saying, well, because she a white girl, that's why she look. Trust me, I've come around all the conversations, and it's unfortunate, but hey, that is reality. That's the world we live in. People are gonna, find an easy way to hate against this girl. The most thing that I'm frustrated is, again, there are so many individuals out there that has been busting their ass to gain a lot of success. They have dotted all their I's, crossed all their T's. They've done all the proper requirements, yet they're still struggling and still waiting for that big break. But yet you have a person that makes that jokes around and does a sexual gesture, goes viral, and now instant success, millions and millions of dollars. And now she has the third most popular podcast. Like, I don't even know what she talks about the podcast. I have to maybe do a review on it, because I have not checked it out. I didn't want to, because after seeing that podcast episode with her and Bill Maher, I was like, I'm bored. There's nothing interesting about this girl, besides she's a Southern girl. She loves her Meemaw. That's her words. That's her grandmother. She is I think she originally worked at a factory. I mean, she's, they might make a movie about her. They might make a TV series about her. I don't know. They might make a sitcom. You never know what they're gonna do. But hey, keep getting this money, especially at the age you are now. But just, there's such a huge shift in podcasts, in my opinion. Podcast to me is always like theater of the mind, just like radio, theater of the mind, where you speak what's on your mind. You're talking with people. Like, for me, I feel like I'm just talking with friends. I'm just having a conversation. But now it's like everybody wants to do something, and it's like your theme is either to bash people, your theme is to just cuss a lot. And I swear here on this program, I can't help my tongue, but there's so many people that just, it's like, what is the narrative? Their narrative sucks. Like, I'm sorry, it's just, and maybe I'm sounding like a hater because, hey, like I said, we a grassroots. Look, I want that success. I want to come in third place, and third in the U.S. on Spotify. I'm on Spotify too. Help me. What about me? What I got to do to get a third place? You know what? I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not even gonna ask that. I'm not gonna entertain that question. What do I have to do to get to the top? No, I ain't gonna. No. I ain't gonna go there. But anyways, y'all. Yes, I had to bring that up. So I'm gonna check it out. Because I'm just curious now. I'm curious to see exactly what topics do they even discuss on. I'm curious. I really am. But yeah, for those who are shocked, just like me, yeah, it's a shocking moment. For those who are not shocked, just because, hey, look, she went viral. She's made friends with some superior people. They said, hey, look, we can brand her, we can market her very well, and they are doing it. So, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah. So I digress from that. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere, and do not change that dial. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Before I move to our next story, I did forget to discuss the tragic story in regards to Hurricane Helen. Hurricane Helen or Helene, excuse me. That hurricane has truly became one of the deadliest storms in American history. According to CNN, here it says, it's really over 100 dead, 1.5 million without power following this hurricane. According to CNN, at least 133 people have lost their life across the Southeast from this hurricane strike. In North Carolina, 56 lives were lost that have been confirmed. Hurricane Helen left at least 33 people in South Carolina, lives lost, 25 in Georgia, 11 in Florida, and 6 deaths have also been reported in Tennessee and 2 in Virginia. It's also left 1.5 million homes and businesses are still without power. I just want to, send thoughts and prayers out to the families that have been affected of Hurricane Helene. It's truly, Mother Nature is a beast. Mother Nature is a beast. And I always tell people, hey, tomorrow's never promised. And there's a lot of questions being asked in regards of people within the community really wasn't aware of how severe this storm was as far as when they need to evacuate. A lot of questions are being brought up. I will continue to follow up more with that to find some more information and talk about it here on the program. But I just again want to send out thoughts and prayers out to those affected by it, because they're still to this day. I mean, towns have been wiped out, homes have been lost. So there's a lot of relief funds and organizations that are providing donating canned goods, clothes, anything they can to help out these families, and I highly recommend you to do so as well. So I just wanted to bring that up for you all, because I know I had missed out and not mentioned it on the previous program. Our next story, this is taking it to sports. A gentleman by the name of, let's see here, AJ Griffin. Okay, AJ Griffin, first round NBA draft pick. I believe he was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. All of a sudden, he says that he is quitting basketball. He's quitting. He is said, I am leaving the NBA. But he quits though to enter into a new calling. This is reported by the Christian Post. Says here that after 2 years as a player in the National Basketball Association, former Atlanta Hawks forward Adrian Griffin Jr., or AJ Griffin, who was traded to the Houston Rockets recently, is calling it quits to follow Jesus full time. Griffin is 21 years old, made his decision clear in a video posted on YouTube following his release by the Houston Rockets after he played with the team in the NBA Summer League. He averaged 11.6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.2 steals over 5 games, playing 24.6 minutes per game in the Summer League. Says here, and I quote, "Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this journey. As I step out of one season of my life, I'm excited to step into a new one with my Lord and Savior. This decision may seem crazy and abnormal to the world, but I'm not here to please man, but only my Father in heaven. He then went on to say, I'm looking forward to the plans God has for me up ahead to share his good news of salvation and a closer relationship with Jesus. I hope the video encourage others to take a leap of faith with trusting in God and giving him your full yes in whatever that may look like to you. He added before quoting Hebrews 11:6, but without faith it's impossible to please him. For he who's come to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seeks him. Griffin was selected as the 16th overall draft pick by the Atlanta Hawks in 2022. His father, former Milwaukee Bucks head coach Adrian Griffin Sr., also played in the NBA as a shooting guard and a small forward for multiple NBA teams, including the Houston Rockets. Now, after a year ago, Griffin testified, prayed, and received a prayer with his extended family during a worship service at Midwest Believers Church in Champaign, Illinois, as they mourn the sudden death of his 2.5-2.5-2.5-2.5-year-old nephew Jace. When I read the story, y'all, I mean, it really does warm my heart, because a lot of people are probably saying it's crazy because of all the fame, success, the money. Obviously, Adrian is saying, but I can be successful in so many other ways than just basketball. And if my heart's not in it, look, I have another pursuit. I have a story. I have a testimony. He will always be known as, he accomplished something that no one else can do in this world, and that's get drafted and play on the highest level of basketball, the highest level in the world, the NBA, the National Basketball Association. He's made it to the mountaintop. He's made it to the top on his basketball career. Now, he might have didn't play for as long as everybody should. He probably didn't make a name. He probably didn't make a name for himself like a LeBron, Michael Jordan, the top players in the NBA. But best believe this story right here is gonna be mentioned years and years to come. Everybody's gonna remember this gentleman that said, "Wow, he literally left basketball to pursue Christ." And I think that's awesome. I myself, I'm a believer. I'm not perfect, but none of us are. But when that faith tells you to do something, man, you gotta do so. Being a business owner, I had to take a leap of faith and take a gamble on myself. Take a gamble on pursuing starting a business, right? Pursuing starting this radio show. This was something that I had to take a leap of faith with. I kid you not. I always never could see myself doing a show all by myself. I never saw that. Why? Because I have a fear. I have a public speaking fear. I have a fear of public speaking. I don't like doing it. I don't like. I've done speaking engagements amongst people. I totally hate it. I'm starting to get more and more speaking functions, and like, hey, look, I need you to speak. I'm like, oh, I hate it. It's one of my biggest fears is public speaking. What I'm doing right here was by faith. It's something that I love to do. I love doing what I'm doing right now. But I have a fear of it, right? I have a fear, and it's up to us, y'all. For one, to overcome, we have to overcome our fears, but two, we just have to take that leap of faith. We have to take that leap of faith. Everything we do in life is taking a leap of faith. Whether we're deciding what kind of day we're gonna have, whether we're deciding what kind of clothes we're gonna wear, whether we're deciding how we're gonna act amongst people, how we're going to interact with individuals. Like, I mean, there's so much stuff that goes on in the head, but I thought this was very unique because you rarely hear about players just leaving to pursue Christ. A lot of them just say, "Hey, look, it's not there anymore. I'm just going to retire and just go into coaching stuff." No, this man had a different calling, and look, him being the son of a former basketball player and head coach, it happens to a lot of, I feel like, kids of former players. They don't have that same passion like their parents did. They just don't. LeBron James' son, Bronny, yeah, he's in the league, but best believe he got some pull because Bronny's numbers in college was not all that for him to be, having a lot of playing time with the Lakers. But hey, he's in there. We don't know how if he's gonna be like like his dad. Most likely not, because there's gonna be one LeBron James and one LeBron James only. But the passion is never really there from the kids compared to the parents. So I thought this was a very interesting story. As I digress, I'm gonna move on to our next story of the day. Let me see how I'm looking with time. Let's talk about this. We're gonna do a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm gonna talk about post vice presidential debate. All right, post vice presidential debate. Don't go anywhere, my friends. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. What is going on, my friends? What's happening? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. So, look, I mentioned before the break that I wanted to discuss a little bit of post reactions from the recent vice presidential debate between Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio's U.S. Senator J.D. Vance. So this was hosted by CBS News. You had not one but two females, Nora O'Donnell and give me a second. Nora O'Donnell and I'm blanking on the other individual's name. But I thought they did quite I thought they did a spectacular job on this on hosting, or excuse me, moderating this debate. There weren't really a lot of fact checking, which a lot of people have been frustrated on. Why isn't there a lot of fact checking in these debates, or at least to their liking, to the number? Because I feel like I have heard some of them fact check candidates within these debates, but a lot of them like saying, I don't hear them fact checking as much as this and that and the other. Now, this was the first and most likely the only debate between the two vice presidential picks. JD Vance is a Harvard scholar. All right. Tim Walz is a vet, high school football coach from Nebraska. He's a very relatable individual. Now, I will say, and it's been said from many analysts, that when Tim Walz initially received that call, he said, "Look, I'm not a good debater." He said that. Now, the world wouldn't have thought that, because when they first made the announcement that Tim Walz and Kamala Harris will be on the same ticket, Tim Walz said, "I can't wait to debate. I can't wait for this debate." Like, I'm like, okay, this man already talking that cold cash. But once it was time, he was a bit rocky. He was a bit, shaky in the debate. Now, again, JD Vance, clean cut guy, scholar. He has that swag that this is what I do. I am literally a professional debater. And it showed. He was very poised, he was very calm. Tim Walz was very fidgety, in my opinion, throughout the debate. There was some fact checking happening on both, eventually fact checking once the debate was over for both candidates. Even moderators asking, okay, my question was to me, which is almost like a form of fact checking, because what they're saying is, you didn't give me a clear answer. You didn't give me an answer for what I asked. That was happening on both sides. And I heard that, happening. And but there was also there was, to me, a very political professionalism that occurred. You saw some points where they said, I actually, I agree with you on that one. I stand with you on this one. They weren't trying to do the whole back and forth circus that we've seen before. They literally were trying to give the viewers a chill pill with this debate. And I think a lot of people were thankful for that. I have a few sound bites that I want to play, but again, just to kind of give you the outcome, the overall. There's the scores. I think they a lot of polls have been giving it is that it was 42% JD Vance as far as who won this debate, 41% Tim Walz, and then 17% a tie. That being said, and I mentioned before the show, I believe I mentioned on social media, it was a video I put out on social media, that this debate was really for the Trump and Vance ticket to redeem themselves and to get some form of leverage and to get that win. It was very important for them to get that win. It was really the least importance for Tim Walz and to the Harris and Walz campaign to get the win, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, it's the race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Those are the two main candidates. They are the two faces on this main card. The VP picks, people can care less about the VP picks. In the past, there really hasn't been a huge outcome because of the VP picks. Now, people can say, well, really, Sarah Palin, former governor of Alaska, screwed the late great John McCain from him winning the election against when he went against Barack Obama. But then I always tell people, you have to realize Barack Obama was destined to be the first African American male president of the United States. And on top of that, he was a damn good debater. He was a great talker. He was highly educated. Look, he won that thing fair and square. Even if Sarah Palin was a lot more educated than the way she was acting initially, even if she was a more qualified VP pick, most likely they still would have lost. That's how good Obama was. Now, coming back here, vice presidential picks really doesn't affect. If he would have done bad, I really don't think that would have affected the numbers. You have that core base that will support them regardless. But I think that JD delivered what was expected from him. Likewise, Tim Walz delivered what was expected from Tim Walz. A lot of Republican strategists are even saying he did a lot better than I expected, because I thought he was fully going to just bomb, because they knew that Tim Walz was not a good debater. A lot of CBS did a YouGov poll. The tone of the VP debate was 88% generally positive and 12% negative. Both candidates sound responsible to the majorities of debate watchers. At the debate, they were mostly sounded, yes, responsible, or reasonable, not responsible, excuse me, reasonable. Walz 74% reasonable, Vance 65% reasonable. The extreme reasonable was 26%, as well as 35% for Vance. If needed, are they prepared to be president? Now, 60% said Walz is very prepared to be president. 55% said that Vance is prepared to be president. Now, 40% said Walz is not prepared, and then 45% said Vance is not prepared. It was, again, a much better race, a much better debate than we've seen it prior. Okay, so some of the key issues. Then I'm going to play these sound bites for you. But let me name you some key issues happening with this race: abortion, healthcare, conflict in the Middle East, economy, and immigration. So we have J.D. Vance scoring 38% in the abortion, 41% in healthcare, 50% in the conflict in the Middle East, 51% on the economy, and then 52% on immigration. Now going to Tim Walz, 62% on abortion, 59% for healthcare. As far as for the conflict in the Middle East, 50%. Economy was 49%, and then immigration was 48%. So again, the numbers are all around the place in this. Let me go ahead and make sure. Okay, this is ready for you. So here's what some of the reaction from some undecided voters after watching the vice presidential debate. There we go.
What do you think the debate was going to be like in terms of the temperature?
You often go in expecting that guns are going to be blazing, that it's going to be attack after attack. I'm expecting one person to personalize and make this debate more about a personal issue or kind of not liking the other guy. Ultimately, it was very peaceful, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was the first time I feel like we really got to see unity within our politics and a really long time, at least for as long as I've been able to watch politics.
And how much faith do you have that that's how it will be going forward?
I'm really hopeful that we continue to see debates like this. We see moments where we are looking at the direct issue, recognizing that there are issues, and trying to come with an answer. Whether or not it's obtainable, I'm really not sure, but I would really like to hope that it continues out that way.
What did you think this debate?
All right, so that was some folks from CNN. Let me go ahead and give you another. Let's see here. All right, here was from MSNBC, a gentleman named Marcus that went viral. Let me play you this for him.
We were talking, Marcus, about this constant criticism about the vice president not being able, about the vice president being in office for these last. He's already upset about it. The vice president being in office for all these years and not being able to make the change was the allegation from J.D. Vance. You said to me, "I've been to high school civics class." Why did you say that?
Because if anybody took high school civics class, they'd know what the vice president can do and what the vice president can do. I want to make a quick point. Neither candidate on that stage talked about what executive action they're going to take on day one to do what they want, nor were they asked, because they know that they can't. That's not how the vice presidency works. You don't get to do what you want. You do what the president delegates you to do. So that
one day, Marcus is going to be all of our teachers in civics class.
I mean, that you saw that expression. Marcus was like, "I am not messing around." All right, so here was the let's see. Here was this was on News Nation. This was former Fox News host, the iconic conservative voice, independent, but leans more right, Bill O'Reilly. This is what he had to say in regards to the debate.
You made the point about the audience, right? Let's look at it from the audience's perspective. Does this have the potential to move the needle?
What J.D. Vance accomplished was he made himself human. unlike Donald Trump, who never does that. And he made himself accessible. I hate that word, but it's a trendy word now. But tonight, Vance did his ticket more good than Walz did his ticket. But Walz wasn't bad. He looks like a guy that I'd invite to Thanksgiving dinner. I don't think I'd give him dessert. I'd get him out of there because he'd get a little tedious. But he could have an entree and an appetizer. I'd like to talk to him.
That is funny. That was actually pretty funny. Let's see here. This was Walz and Vance discuss threats to democracy. All right, let me play you this one.
I think there's a lot of agreement. This is one that we are miles apart on. This was a threat to our democracy in a way that we had not seen. And it manifested itself because of Donald Trump's inability to say. He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is a damning non-answer.
It's a damning non-answer for you to not talk about censorship. Obviously, Donald Trump and I think that there were problems in 2020. We've talked about it. I'm happy to talk about it further. But you guys attack us for not believing in democracy. The most sacred right under the United States democracy is the First Amendment.
Where is the firewall with Donald Trump? Where is the firewall if he knows he could do anything, including taking an election, and his vice president's not going to stand to it? That's what we're asking you, America. Will you stand up? Will you keep your oath of office, even if the president doesn't? And I think Kamala Harris would agree. She wouldn't have picked me if she didn't think I would do that, because of course that's what we would do. So America, I think you've got a really clear choice on this election of who's going to honor that democracy and who's going to honor Donald Trump. I think there's a lot of.
And you know what? Another point that he made, this was Vance and Walz's response on the Israel and Iran conflict. But one thing I wanted to mention before I play this soundbite, one thing I like that Walz did say was the fact that, okay, it's an exact reason why you are here and not Mike Pence, because it's all about that whole if you speak anywhere near against Donald Trump, you're out of here. You're out. He brought up again the January 6th, the fact that they were chanting out "hang Mike Pence." I mean, it was insane. And he had a point there. J.D. Vance did not have a response for that. But let me play you this soundbite.
Governor Walz, if you were the final voice in the Situation Room, would you support or oppose a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran?
Let's keep in mind where this started. October 7th, Hamas terrorists massacred over 1,400 Israelis and took prisoners. Israel's ability to be able to defend itself is absolutely fundamental. Getting its hostages back, fundamental, and ending the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. But the expansion of Israel and its proxies is an absolute fundamental necessity for the United States to have the steady leadership there. You saw it experienced today, where along with our Israeli partners and our coalition, able to stop the incoming attack. But what's fundamental here is that steady leadership is going to matter. It's clear, and the world saw it on that debate stage a few weeks ago. A nearly 80-year-old Donald Trump talking about crowd sizes is not what we need in this moment. What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together, understanding that our allies matter. When our allies see Donald Trump turn towards Vladimir Putin, turn towards North Korea, when we start to see that type of fickleness around holding the coalitions together, we will stay committed. And as the vice president said today, we will protect our forces and our allied forces, and there will be consequences.
Now, to answer this particular question, we have to remember that as much as Governor Walz just accused Donald Trump of being an agent of chaos, Donald Trump actually delivered stability in the world, and he did it by establishing effective deterrence. People were afraid of stepping out of line. Iran, which launched this attack, has received over $100 billion in unfrozen assets thanks to the Kamala Harris administration. What do they use that money for? They use it to buy weapons that they're now launching against our allies, and God forbid, potentially launching against the United States as well. Donald Trump recognized that for people to fear the United States, you needed peace through strength. They needed to recognize that if they got out of line, the United States global leadership would put stability and peace back in the world. Now, you asked about a preemptive strike, Margaret, and I want to answer the question. Look, it is up to Israel what they think they need to do to keep their country safe, and we should support our allies wherever they are when they're fighting the bad guys. I think that's the right approach to take with the Israel question.
Governor Walz.
All right, so last 2 minutes, I want to play. These are from co-host of The Five, Harold Ford Jr., as well as Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters also hosts Jesse Waters Primetime on Fox News. This is what he had to say on the debate, or about the debate, excuse me.
JD Vance won the debate. It was close, wasn't a blowout. If I were JD Vance, I would have turned to Walz a lot more and said, listen, Kamala Harris did this. She didn't do this. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? He never did that. JD Vance went in there trying not to lose. And by not losing, he won because his character in the media was completely out of whack. People thought he was going to come in and start talking about eating cats and childless cat ladies. He didn't do any of that. He was disciplined. He was focused. He knew the policy very well. And he handled the moderators gracefully in a very mature way for a young guy. Walz was a little caffeinated. I'm not sure how that comes across to people, but he didn't blow himself up. I don't think this is going to affect the outcome of the election that much. Maybe in small margins in some counties. But again, this is Trump-Harris. That's what it's all about.
And then here is Harold Ford Jr., former Democratic congressman out of Tennessee.
If you look at the debate, honestly, you got to think that J.D. Vance had a really good night. I thought he had to demonstrate to people that, particularly women voters and people who might have thought harshly of him, that he was likable and relatable. And I thought he did a lot of that. I thought go shaky. He seemed a little rattled at the very beginning. The first commercial break, he seemed to come back more confident and more sure of himself, and his answers were better and more succinct and made more sense. Neither of them hurt themselves, but I would argue Senator Vance certainly helped himself a little bit more tonight.
So I want to because of my time, I wanted to play you those sound bites just to give you responses and reactions from people all across the aisle from multiple networks. And I've already gave you my 2 cents before. Look, guys, it's a crucial election. That's all I have to say. It's a crucial election. So you have to do your part. Cast your vote. Get registered if you are not. It's not too late. Well, actually, yes, it's not too late to get registered. Make sure your friends are registered as well. Early voting is happening until November 2nd, and then November 5th is the last and final. It is election night. So please do your part. Get registered to vote. Vote. Tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, as well as on all digital and streaming platforms, YouTube, Rumble, wherever you get your podcasts. You know how to follow us. Follow us on Instagram as well as on X. Y'all take care. Look, I'm out.